And the reason why you can never find who Tony is because I'm Tony.
Why would you do that?
You should have never called me a fat Kelly Price.
It's time. It's time that we talk about Catfish most iconic episode. Okay, if you don't know what Catfish is a TV show and where the two hosts, originally were Neve and Max, help out two people that have been talking online or on the phone meet in real life. So for example, we have Matthew. Matthew has been talking to this girl for, let's say, a year, and they have never met personally. So that's where Neve and Max come in. They try to get them together. So when a person has a picture but they don't look like the picture in real life, that's a catfish, right? You get it. Okay, in this episode we have Carmen. Carmen contacted Neve and Max, and she tells them like, hey, my cousin Antwane has been talking to this other guy named Tony, and they have been together in a 3-year-long relationship, which is insane because Antwane hasn't seen no pictures of Tony. They have never FaceTime. They have only talked on the phone. So Antwane has fallen in love with a voice very similar to the Love is Blind. Yeah, except there hasn't been a reveal yet. Does that make sense? So cousin Carmen obviously is worried about him, and that's why she contacted the show Catfish, because she wants Neve and Max to find out who Tony is. So Neve and Max say, yes, we will help you. They fly to Cincinnati, Ohio, where Carmen and Antwane are located. So they first meet up with Carmen, and they're like, okay, let me know a little bit more about how Antwane met Tony. She explains to them that there's this thing, which I really didn't know that was a thing.
What is Chatline? What is... Can we call?
This is Heatline, where hot meets sexy. There are 96 men on the line.
What's up, ladies? I'm looking for someone to hang out with. Chill out. I'm 6 foot, light brown skin, weigh like 200, clean cut. If you like what you hear, give me a holler.
See, I'm about to talk to him. Hey, what's up? Just listen to your greeting, like what I heard. If you're interested, get back to me.
Did you clock how she changed her voice? And I'm not saying we don't do this. We girls do this. Like when we're talking on the phone, we might be like, hello, yeah. Then Neve and Max go with Carmen to meet Antwane in person. And let me tell you something. Antwane is rocking the Evanescence cover album style. I love it. Hot Topic, Spencer's, I love it. The thing is that Antwane lets Neve and Max know like, oh, this is the phone number that he once called me from, and that's the only thing he knows about Tony. He doesn't know Tony's last name. He doesn't know anything. He just knows that one phone number that Tony called him from a while ago. And the other thing that he has from Tony is a voice message that one time Tony left him.
Just calling you know I'm thinking about you. When I get this message, just know I ain't forget about you. Just want to let you know that, you know, I do care for you. Do want to see you. Can't wait to meet you.
End of message.
So that's the only thing that Neve and Max have to work with. They don't even have a Facebook profile. They don't even have an Instagram. They don't have nothing. They just have that one phone number. So Neve and Max do what Neve and Max do best, and it's the reverse phone lookup. So when Neve and Max look up the phone number, nothing comes up. But then they decide to Google the number. So when they Google the phone number, they find out an address with a name, and that name is attached to another name, which is Anthony. They're out here thinking like, oh my god, this is it. This is the person. The thing is that they go to Antwane and Carmen and they tell them what they found out. The next obvious step is to go to this address to find out who Tony is. And I always thought this was so crazy at Catfish. It's crazy to go to somebody's home and ask them like, hey, does so-and-so lives here? Are you the police? Also, they're like in a neighborhood that they don't know nothing about. It's not like the neighborhood that Antwane lives in. It's just a random neighborhood.
Really close. Do you know this area?
This is downtown, the ghetto.
You cannot just go to a random neighborhood and knock on people's door and say you're looking for so-and-so. Anyway, the thing is that they go to 3 different addresses. So first they start busting into random people's apartment looking for Diana Thomas or looking for Tony, whatever.
Buzz and ask if anyone's home,
That's
right?
crazy, just really random people buzzing.
It's not that crazy. Is this Anthony Thomas?
At the wrong door. Said the wrong door.
I hope nobody will come out with them guns.
Tony's not there. They go to a second house. They talk to the lady, talking about like, oh, are you Diana Thomas? Or do you know Tony? Doesn't that nothing happened there. Then they go to a very like isolated address and they try to find Tony, and then nobody was living in that house. Here it starts to get crazy. When they come to the conclusion that that final address is a dead end, like nobody was living in the house, Carmen gets upset. She's like, no, we cannot leave until we find Tony. Like, that's the whole purpose of you guys coming here, to help Antwane find Tony.
But I don't want to get back in a car because I want to find something.
I mean, we're trying everything we can.
And then she drops the bomb of the century.
Twan, the reason why you stupid idiot can never find who Tony is because I'm Tony.
She admits that she's Tony. And then everybody on set, you see the camera crew, even Max and Antwane, of course, they are like, what?
What's going on?
Why the f did you do that?
And then you see it in everybody's faces. They're like, oh my god, like, why would she do that? You know, like, everybody is questioning that in their minds. And she lets them know why.
Ain't fucking
You
cool.
should have never called me a fat ass Kelly Price.
You get mad out for that little bitty bullshit, though.
Talk about being petty. And she's laughing. She's like, you should have never called me a fat ass Kelly Price. Carmen.
Life, deal with it. Oh well.
Carmen. Carmen doesn't have a problem lying to her cousin cause he called her fat. She's alarming, truly how petty she can be, fooling everyone, telling Antwane she's Tony. And then you can tell that Antwane is rightfully upset because he thought he was talking to this man for 3 years. I feel so bad for Antwane. Like, I know a lot of the episodes on this show end up like this, like there's usually a catfish, but the fact that it's his cousin and he's upset, like I would have been upset too. He's like, oh yeah, don't talk to me ever again, this and that, and she's like, well,
it was the right thing to do.
Carmen, girl, and the cigarette.
Like,
Please.
like 10 times more space.
Antwane smoking that cigarette is the realest thing of the whole episode.
Now I'm going around over 3 people's houses thinking I'm about to see a fucking Tony. Our fat ass playing.
So what? What you want to do?
Come over here.
So when Max is questioning Carmen, he's like, why did you do this? And she tells him like, oh, it's just payback because he's always making fun of me, this and that. Max asks a very important question. He says, what voice are you using? And she says,
The Tony voice.
oh my god, talk about an iconic line. Girl, insane. You remember how I told you earlier to notice how she changed her voice when she was on the phone with that guy, or when she was leaving that message to that guy? Did you clock how she changed her voice? Why did it surprise everybody, including me, as she was able to pull the Tony voice? Talk about revenge being a plate best served cold.
You used us and kind of wasted our time to get back at your cousin for saying something about you 3 years ago?
She didn't waste your time. She gave you a show. You have a TV show. You gave her the TV and she gave you the show. I don't care what you say. When things didn't go usually as they go, I think even Max took it a little bit personal.
Is this more about just sort of getting attention for you than it was
No,
about...
because I could have been on any show.
But she chose us to bestow upon us her genius.
They were playing the victim, and the real victim of the show is Antwane. But they were butthurt because she played them as well. Does that make sense?
Well, we know you're a good liar.
Even got you too.
So when Max says that, oh, you wasted our time, this and that, I don't think it's a waste of time. It's part of the show. The reason why I wanted to make this video, now that we have done like a little recap of the episode, is to see that Carmen, she was telling on herself since the very beginning. And I want to show you.
I'm just trying to help look out for my cousin because he deserves to know who Tony is.
Hey, what's up? Just listen to your greeting, like what I heard. If you're interested, get back to me.
Message delivered.
Do you always change your voice?
Yeah, because I have a heavy voice. I want them to be attracted to me. I want him to know
exactly who he talking to.
Even if it means finding out that Tony's lying to him.
Whatever, I want him to know the truth. So I'm just trying to look out for you. I don't want nobody to play you.
Would you say that you guys are each other's best friends?
Yeah.
Brown skin, you know, buff.
Six pack?
Yeah, better be.
You trust him more than you trust me?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
If it turns out that he was lying and that he doesn't look the way you like him to or that you thought he did.
Y'all be like a volcano. I'ma explode. I'm not playing.
It's still happening.
I see an Anthony.
Well, there's a really good chance a mugshot for a guy named Anthony Thomas from Cincinnati. It's possible.
All
I feel
right.
like that's a dead end.
Back in the car.
Let him go.
She could have been hiding something.
I think she might have been hiding something.
I think she was.
Now I gotta deal with this bullshit because she do some stupid ass shit with her fat ass.
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead.
So anyway, this was my recap of the most iconic catfish episode in my opinion. I still feel very bad for Antwane because I feel like he was the real victim in the episode, and I hope Antwane has found that one person for him. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you when I see ya. Bye!